sunshine. 109 in the sky, but the pigs won't quit. You're here with me, Dr. Death Defying. I'll be your surgeon, your proctor, your helicopter, pumping out the automatic sounds to keep you alive. A system failure for the masses, antimatter for the master plan. Louder than God's revolver and twice as shiny. This one's for all you rock and rollers, all you crash queens and motor babies. Listen up! The future is bulletproof. The aftermath is secondary. It's time to do it now and do it loud. Killjoys, make some noise.
Welcome to We Were Framed, where we watch the Netflix movies you don't have time to watch. You're here with your host, Sweet Lou, and...
What's up, buddy? Sean Fitz. I didn't know that was a 45-second speaking intro. Sorry about that.
No.
But that
No,
was the titular My Chemical Romance that we were talking about last week.
Yes. Which they are getting back together for one show only, it sounds like, in California. Is that correct?
Yeah. You giving any more thought about going?
I kind of want to, but it's too close to the holidays, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in like 10 days, right?
No, it's in December something.
I thought it was November 20th, December 20th. Speaking of holidays, you going anywhere for Thanksgiving? What do you do for Thanksgiving? Work?
Oh, I still go to my grandma's.
Yeah.
No, we are closed on Thanksgiving.
How many days a year is the store closed? Just Thanksgiving, Christmas, and...
Oh, no, I'm a corporate guy, so so we're closed on the holiday, like certain holidays. So we will be closed Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Day, I think. December 20th, Friday, December 20th, Los Angeles, California, Shrine Auditorium and an Expo Hall. In case people are interested.
When are you thinking about coming out here to Colorado?
I am trying to make it out there December 14th, like the weekend of December 14th. That way, and hopefully we can do that so that we can do a live, like not live, but I want to kind of. We were talking about that Into the Wild, and we're kind of
Strange Wilderness.
Yeah, Strange Wilderness. You're right.
Yeah, that'll be a real treat for listeners if we get to do a talk along. What is that called? We're gonna watch the movie and record
I call it
us
Mystery
goofing
Science
on it.
Theater.
Yeah.
I use that as the verb, Mystery Science Theater. It. So because I think you're the one who got me into Mystery Science Theater.
And my dad's the one that got me into it.
What's the guy's name? Jonah Ray.
Jonah Ray is the current host. Yeah.
Yep. So, and I've seen, I think, every single episode with Jonah Ray so far, unless they have a new season of it.
They just dropped like 6 of them, I want to say this summer. The first run was 10, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
So yeah,
and they just dropped another 6.
So yeah, if that's how it is, then I am behind.
Because you haven't seen those 6?
Yeah, because I saw the first push through the Gauntlet, and yeah, they had the Return, which is a lot more than 6 actually.
Oh, the Gauntlet was first, and then the Return.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not how I remember.
Oh wait, no, you're right.
Yeah, I thought it was 10 and then 6. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, because when I looked at as soon as I clicked on the Return, all of them have red lines under it, saying that I watched it. But the Gauntlet has no red lines under it. But the
I don't get how you do watch shit on your phone off Netflix. Do you watch Netflix on your phone?
Yeah, I can watch it on my phone, my TV.
But you sit and you hold a phone 10 inches from your face and watch Mystery Science Theater.
No, usually when I'm watching it, I'm like playing video games, and I have something playing on my phone, just kind of like, I don't know, background noise kind of thing. Usually it's just The Office.
That's what podcasts are for. You don't need to watch a TV show while you're playing a video game. That's a little gauche.
Yeah.
But you're a little gauche.
Yeah, it just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's The Office. Sometimes it's our podcast. Like I'll rewatch. Like I'll re-listen to some of our stuff.
Sure, because they're gold.
Yeah. Well, I admit I forget a lot. So, but I also catch myself. You know how like I always forget words, and I'm like, oh, what's a word? And then like, oh well, whatever. And I'll use a different word. Then I'm like, I'll sit in my car as I'm driving to work, and I'll hear myself, and I'm like, that's the word you're thinking of, man.
Yeah, I caught myself listening back to our first episode. I didn't realize how often I say the word sure. Like I've been conscious every episode since to not just say sure to everything that you say, because I annoyed the fuck out of myself listening to that first episode. Everything you or Tom said, I was just like, sure, 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 buddy.
So we did I Am Wrath this week.
This week's movie, the Emmy nominated, Oscar nominated, Tony nominated. What awards is this film making?
Probably none. I'm not as prepared as I usually am. So give me one moment.
I got it up. What do you need? A summary?
I was just trying to see if there is any awards.
Oh fuck no! It's got 0%.
It had an 18 million budget.
Sure. Damn it! I just did it.
With a $2 million gross.
Yes. Now, who directed this picture?
The director was Chuck Russell.
Chuck Russell.
Let's see what we got for Joyride, Dreamscape, Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dream Warriors, right?
Yep. The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, fucking weird, right? This guy's all over the place.
What was the movie? Oh, speaking of Jim Carrey, what was the movie I just saw with him in it? Where I was like, oh my god, is this? Oh,
is it recent?
Dumb and Dumber.
No, yeah, Dumb and Dumber is the sequel.
Yeah.
And then When Harry Met Lloyd was the prequel. Did you see that one?
Oh no, I saw Me, Myself, and Irene recently.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I love that one. I saw a clip of it the other day when Hank first comes out, and I'm like, oh my god, why haven't I watched this in forever? So I had to rewatch it.
I just remember his black sons being hilarious.
Yeah.
We watched The New Guy when we were in Chicago.
Yes.
The movie The New Guy. The black actor who was the drummer of that guy in The New Guy in the funk band is one of Jim Carrey's sons in Me, Myself, and Irene. And I believe, let me look it up here.
All three of his sons were geniuses too. Like they had like one was a weightlifter, the other one was like obviously like the heavier set, and I can't remember what the third brother was. Yeah.
Hold please. Where is the sons? Anthony Anderson is one of his sons of Blackish fame.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. And then Gerard Mixon. He must be the one from New Guy, the fat guy.
All right.
Yes, he was a New Guy. But the other guy, Mongo Brownlee is his name. He was the third son.
Mm-hmm.
Has a really he sticks out whenever I see him because he has a really funny part in a 1998 or so Marky Mark Wahlberg picture called The Big Hit. Are you familiar?
No.
You should check that out. It's a really funny action comedy about a former assassin who gets set up and has to pretend he's not an assassin around his wife's family. It's really stupid, but it's good action. It's Marky Mark trying to be serious, which he always fails at and is really funny to me. And it's got this Mongo Brownlee as one of his friend assassins who is addicted to masturbating. He's literally like kissing his hand and stuff. That's how addicted to it he is.
So the description for the movie is hell-bent on avenging his wife's murder.
This is
Stanley,
IMF we're talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
Hell-bent on avenging his wife's murder, Stanley Hill summons an old partner's help in exposing a cover-up by crooked cops and slimy politicians. So, right off the bat, how many movies can you like name that they kind of stole aspects from?
Oh, 1,000. I called this fat, boring John Wick in my head about halfway through.
There was John Wick. There was Equalizer. There was
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
A
Yep.
lot of Boondock Saints in there.
By the way, I had a dream. So at one point he drops the Bible, reads a passage from it. I had a dream that passage was written on my car.
Cool.
Yeah, but I also read it I also watched the movie literally before I went to bed. So.
Yeah, I did this. I had my new routine where I watched this in the morning yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I was half asleep when I started it, and folks, I was half asleep by the end too, because this was boring as shit. Bra rating off the top. What's your bra rating?
I'm gonna go with 5.
You're giving it a 5.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got like a 2 on this. Like a solid 1.5.
I think it's definitely worth it just for the hair.
Yeah, it's crazy. He cannot admit that he's balding.
The hair was just. I also at this one point he's walking, and I could have sworn it was just Chris Pine. Is that the guy who plays Captain America?
No, that's Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. I could have sworn it was Chris Evans with John Travolta CGI'd.
Maybe. Yeah. You mean because of the hair or because of the build?
It was just how the guy was walking. It didn't
Mhm.
seem like John Travolta anymore, and it kind of seemed like a stunt double or whatever. And it was not that well made, so I can't see why they used $18 billion to make this movie.
That either went up the director's nose or Travolta
Right.
got 15 million just to sign on, you know.
Or just get that hair, man.
Yeah, and there's a surprising amount of focus on his hair in the movie. Like, you'd think if he was so obsessed with, hiding the fact that he's bald and wearing these ridiculous wigs, he would demand that they don't have so many close-ups of his forehead area. Like, the movie starts with him getting beat up, and for the remainder of the film, he's got Harry Potter-esque scar up on it where the wig is.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he's in the shower and you can the wig gets wet and looks ridiculous. There's a bunch of weird hair gags.
Well, if you look at his, hair on this picture.
Sure.
It's not
great listening podcast etiquette, showing me a picture over Skype.
Well, we're just having a conversation about it, so. But in that picture, you can tell, he's not balding. It's just that I think he's one of those people that doesn't like admitting that he's getting old. I don't know.
No, he's balding. You can find pictures of him, his real hairline online if you look.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got almost a full horseshoe going on. And it's noticeable in these movies.
It's just, I don't know. It was just the best part of the whole movie was just his hair.
Now I'm going to disagree with you, and in my opinion, the best part of this whole movie was Christopher Maloney, his old CIA buddy.
Yeah.
Played by Christopher Maloney. I think his name was Dennis in the movie. I think he's a great actor. I like other stuff he's in, so when I saw him in this, it kind of brought it up a little bit. That he was really keeping me focused. And one of the notes that I wrote down was his fight scene in the barbershop is badass. Do you remember that
Yeah,
scene?
where he complains that the guy hurt his knee.
Yes, yes, yeah. The guy swings a bat on him and he breaks it with his knee and then stabs him a bunch.
And he goes, "That really hurt my knee." And I'm like, that was
Yeah,
that was a good.
it was
And the best,
baller.
and it was so crazy because that was one of the best fight scenes in the whole movie. Kind of in the middle, and every action scene he had in the movie was just amazing. Like he gets shot, he gets back up, shoots another person because he's wearing Kevlar the whole time. And um and if you guys haven't met this guy, he's the guy from Happy.
Hmm.
Great show if you haven't seen it.
He was like the lead detective on one of the Law and Orders. I don't know which one. Maybe the original.
Oh, I never watched Law and Order.
But that's what he's most known for.
Oh, really?
Hmm. But yeah, he's in Happy. He's in Wet Hot American Summer as the chef that falls in love with a can of canned vegetables. Um, yeah, he's a decent actor, but he's fantastic and Happy, and he's okay in this, which is a godsend for everything that's happening around him. Because there was nothing. He was acting up a storm because everyone else in this movie was just farting their way through it. The John Travolta sucked in it. The governor, like the whole movie, kind of spoiler alert, hinges on this governor character, and that guy. I mean, he couldn't have phoned it in harder if he was literally phoning it in. You know what I mean? Like if his whole part was over the phone.
Yeah, the climax of the movie is when he is over in like 10 seconds. He finally finds the villain.
Mm.
The villain usually gives off this huge monologue and blah blah blah. But no, they didn't really do that with this movie, which is fine. We don't always need a monologue, but at the same time.
But in this movie, you do. When they painted by numbers so hard. Every single scene in this movie is so droll and overdone and like paint by numbers action movie that why not have the final bad guy give this long, Shakespearean death monologue. His death was the most boring on-screen death I've ever seen in an action movie.
Yeah, and then I didn't really understand the whole ending of the film too. Like why? Like I thought, okay, cool. He gives himself up, right? Like he pretends he's gonna kill them, and then he lets himself get killed.
He's suicide by cops. Is that what you mean?
Is what he's trying to do?
Yeah.
But he doesn't achieve it, and at the same time, nowhere in the movie did he like kind of make a reference like, oh, once this mission's done, I'm done, kind of thing. But him and his friend keep talking about faking his death. So I'm like, okay, cool. So the cop who shoots him is actually going to be his friend. And he's going to get carried away. Like, then the friend's going to have buddies as the ambulance and they're going to fake his death.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, he actually did get shot by the cops. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a bold move to have he's supposed to be the protagonist of this film, have him suicide by cop at the end, or attempt to at the end. And it went on way longer than it should have. Doesn't he kill someone in the hospital after he gets shot? I tuned out.
Yeah, one of the cops, like the dirty cops, he kills one of the dirty cops. Mm-hmm. There was another thing I had written down. Oh, the funeral. When the wife dies, this guy, they kept her pretty low to the ground.
Yeah. Did I notice what, Luis?
That the coffin was really low to the ground.
Yeah, and how could you notice that?
Because he's like on his knees, like holding her while she's in the coffin. I'm like, what is this? Is this how like coffins are really done? Like,
all right, you won't say it. I'll say it. It was clearly to show Rebecca De Mornay's sweet, sweet sweater meat. You could see those puppies from outside the coffin. Her boobs were higher than the rim of her coffin in that scene.
I won't lie, I didn't notice that, to be honest.
Trust me. She's
I
wearing they buried her in like a tight Jackie O tight, dress, big blue mounds popping out over the casket.
Is that why is that the dress the daughter was talking about then?
I don't remember.
I could have sworn they were like the daughter was like, "Oh yeah, mom wanted to get a new dress because she didn't want tan lines or something."
Oh no, I do remember that. What the daughter said something weird. She's like, "I can't believe she's dead. We just went tanning so she could look sexy when you got back." It was a very weird line to say at the funeral. Do you remember that? The
Yeah.
daughter said something about she wanted to be all sexy for when you got home, Dad. It's like, we're at your mother's funeral. Why don't you chill out a little bit?
Oh. All in all, yeah, it's one of those like films where it's being serious and it's just funny that I don't know. I laughed a lot in this movie.
Yeah, it was just kind of. I was just like, really? Like, it was one of those like exasperated, like they're really doing this kind of laugh. Um, Fun fact: do you know who was signed on to play the lead character of Wrath, John Travolta's character Stanley Hill,
No,
before
no,
before Travolta?
no, I didn't look into like what's called trivia on this movie at all.
Initially announced in September 2012, set to star Nicolas Cage.
And Nicolas Cage backed out.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't back out of any movies.
The version did not come to pass, and the new version starring Travolta was announced in February 2015. John Travolta kills someone or does some, quote unquote badass something, and then he looks in the mirror and says, he literally says the title. He looks in the mirror and says, "I am Wrath," but he kind of whispers it. Do you remember the scene?
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh no,
Right.
no, yes, I think it's when he kills the governor." The governor goes, "Who are you?" as he's dying, and he looks in the mirror and he goes, "I am Wrath." And all I kept thinking, if that was Nick Cage, "I am Wrath," he would have done something fucking awesome with it. You know what I mean? He would have gone crazy, Nick Cage, but John Travolta just slept through it.
You remember that movie where he's like not John Travolta, Nicolas Cage. He's like an escaped soul from hell, and he just drives around. It came out around the time that that Drive movie came out with
Drive Angry?
Is that what it was called?
He was in a movie called Drive Angry. I don't know if it was the one you're talking about. Oh, was it Ghost Rider?
No. But it sort of had the same kind of type of premise. He was a dead soul. He died, came back from the dead. I think to save his daughter or something like that.
Huh? No, I don't know.
Also, I don't know why they keep pairing him with like really young women. Because the girl he was with in that movie was Amber Heard. I don't know if you know her.
Kanye's ex-girlfriend.
Who?
No, Amber Heard. Is that Kanye's? Johnny Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp's ex-wife. I believe.
Yeah. Apparently, she beat him or something like that.
I think he beat the hell out of her, but who knows?
No, I think that's what she was claiming, and he agreed. Like he kind of like didn't fight it or anything. But then they found records that it was actually all made up, and that it was actually her that beat him or something.
Rough stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, if this was a Nicolas Cage movie, at least it would have been entertaining. John Travolta he's got so much Botox and plastic in his face that nothing's going. He can't act his way out of a box anymore, and it's unfortunate because he's been in some great movies. He's in Pulp Fiction. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and he's just, he's done. He's over. I don't think he's got enough time to focus on acting with all the masseuses coming out saying they grabbed his dick while they were massaging him. He's in a bunch of lawsuits right now. getting sued by male masseuses for trying to fuck him.
The one thing I don't understand is the whole like idea of the blackmail of the governor. So the criminal mastermind who the governor is being blackmailed by works hand in hand with the cops. The cops show up all the time in the place, and it only seems like he has the video on one phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I never understood why they didn't just kill him.
We're talking about the
Like K Law or something. I don't know his name.
Lemmy K.
Lemmy K. There we go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Like there was two cops. They keep running into him, and I'm like, why are you guys not just killing him? Like, you guys are in this perfect situation to kill this dude. And then they just go, no, it's okay. We're gonna let him live because he has this thing on his phone. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, man, you guys could just kill this guy. Oh.
Yeah, that didn't catch my attention at all. The only notes that I have, Maloney fight scene is awesome. This movie takes place in Columbus, which is like it was literally filmed in Columbus, and that kept blowing my mind every single time they cut to like a fake news story or like the crime wave in Columbus.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? What's going on?
I was wondering if any of those were real. Do you know?
No, they're all fake.
All right.
Nothing goes down in Columbus. I found it funny that the whole story revolved around this like seedy underbelly of Columbus when I'm not even sure they have, a downtown.
Downtown Columbus.
And my last note is, at the funeral, his nose is crying, but his eyes aren't. He had like water pouring out of his nostrils, but his eyes were not wet at all.
There was a lot of interesting things I noticed about. I don't know. John Travolta used. Remember Wild Hogs?
I do.
I think that was the last John Travolta movie I really enjoyed.
That was him and Toolman Taylor and William H. Macy going on a Harley ride.
Yep, and Martin Lawrence.
And Martin Lawrence, yes. And if I remember, a pretty funny cameo with John C. McGinley from Scrubs.
Yep. Who was he like gay or something?
He was a gay cop or something.
He kept thinking they were on a boys trip and trying to like go Brokeback Mountain with him. I think it's because they were skinny dipping or something, right?
I just like the phrase "go Brokeback Mountain."
Yeah.
What's wrong? Yeah, I've fallen on hard times, man. I've gone completely Brokeback Mountain.
Well, you never know, man. Yeah, no, that was a great movie. Then he did a movie with Robin Williams.
Who are we talking about?
John Travolta.
Okay.
He did a movie with Robin Williams. The movie was something. I don't know what it was off the top of my head.
Yeah, he's. I haven't seen it. I don't know of any. I don't think directors trust him anymore to put him in anything decent or interesting. I know his last big splash was he played John Gotti in the titular role Gotti.
Yep. That was last year.
Yeah, and that made waves because they got caught. The marketing for that movie got caught paying reviewers to give it anything higher than a 0% or whatever.
Wow. I didn't know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dogs with what's that
Wild
guy?
Hogs, Old Dogs.
Yep, with what's the kid's name? Seth Green.
Yeah. I don't think I saw that
Robin
one.
Williams and Seth Green, and it was a great movie. But if you had told me that John Travolta was in it before I watched this movie and looked up stuff for it, I would have not known what you were talking about.
Yeah.
There was a movie called Killing Season. That's what I was thinking of, with oh my god, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro plays a World War II vet who gets a place out in the boonies to get away from people because he's having trouble adjusting with the memories of the war. And this guy from the war tracks him down, this soldier from Russia, who is played by John Travolta.
Hmm.
And it was, I think this, I want to say 2013. It was so well done. Um, like both actors did a great job. And I think at the end of the film, it's Robert De Niro makes a joke that had me laughing so hard, and is what kind of got Robert De Niro the upper hand. He makes a joke and kills John Travolta's character. So the joke is a German soldier. All right, I'll come back with a joke after.
No, finish.
Okay. So the joke was a German a German walks into a confessional and he tells the guy, "Hey, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." The father goes, "All right, what have you done?" He goes, "Oh, I allowed a Jewish woman to hide in my house during World War II, and she didn't have any money, she didn't have anything else, so she offered sexual favors in return for me hiding her." And the man's like, "Oh, well," like the father goes, "Oh, well, that's pretty bad, but it was coming from a good place, and she did offer." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, that's not the bad thing I did." And the guy's like, "Oh, what's the bad thing?" He goes, "Well, I haven't told her that the war's been over for 10 years." And so the Russian soldier laughs and gives away his position, and Robert De Niro turns around and shoots them. Well, all right, quick
And
break.
that's which movie?
Hunting season, killing season.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah.
Hold on.
Killing season.
We'll be back.
You like D&D, Audrey Hepburn, Fangoria, Harry Houdini, and croquet. You can't swim, you can't dance, and you don't know karate. Face it, you're never gonna make it.
I don't want to make it. I just want to.
Hey, welcome back.
And we're
I
back.
just want to admit one thing. Up until just now, didn't realize he was saying croquet.
Oh,
Always
does
thought
he?
I always thought he was saying cocaine.
I thought I just listened to it twice in a row. I thought he said cocaine.
Yeah, it's croquet. I'm like, oh,
That makes more sense how it got on MTV then.
yeah.
We used to drive around in Josh Cameron's car and just blast that song.
Josh Cameron.
He had the like 1994 Chevy Celebrity, which is like a big fucking boat. Almost looked like a Cadillac, like huge car. And we would listen to that song and I don't know, cry and cut ourselves. No, I don't remember too well.
Okay, so now that we're done with I Am Wrath, there is a movie you want to talk about real quick?
I've got a couple movies. So yeah, should we go right into what I've been seeing?
Yes.
Yesterday, after I watched I Am Wrath, I got myself on the 16L bus here in Denver, connected to downtown Civic Station, got on another bus, and went to the, you know it, you love it, Mayan Theater. I talk about it every single week. And I saw a film directed by a Pedro Almodovar called Dolor y Gloria, Pain and Glory. I brought it up last week, mentioned that I might go see it, and it was fantastic. 10 bras on this. I really, really dug it. I should have known from the title, Pain and Glory. I guess I kind of I never put together that it was about heroin. It's about drug use. But it's also the story of this film director who is like coming to terms with death and mortality, gets into heroin at age like 65, 70, and then just kind of quits it, which is a weird way to go. Usually these movies, there's a lot of ups and downs, and he's doing heroin at his son's birthday party or whatever. This one, he just kind of manages it, does heroin, and remembers his mother. But it's really good. I recommend, if it's coming to a theater near you, to check it out. Stars Antonio Banderas and Penelope Cruz, who was really, really good in it. And then got myself some dinner with the lovely lady and double featured the shit out of it. Went right back to the Mayan, and I saw The Lighthouse last night. Mm-hmm.
The movie I've been waiting to hear about.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I can't talk about it. You got to see it.
All right.
It just wouldn't do it justice. I can't explain it in a way that I can't give you anything. You just got to go see it. Especially.
Has your mom seen it?
No, and I called her and told her to talk to you, and you guys should go see it together.
All
For
right.
listeners who don't know me and Luis is not dating my mother. I know you bring her up on every episode and talk about going to the zoo with her and taking her to movies. I just need it cleared up that you two aren't banging, as far as I know.
So Sean moved to Colorado a couple months before his dad kind of took a turn for the worse, and so I grew up as us growing up together. We kind of stayed over at each other's house all the time. We were essentially brothers. So when Sean moved away and then his dad got worse, in order to kind of make things easier, I kind of tried to spend as much time over with his dad so that Sean knew somebody else was watching out, not just his mom, and kind of got his mom to do other things besides just visiting over and over again. His dad
got her out of the house. There was a long span. There were 2 years there where she couldn't go anywhere because he was so sick.
So Cal, my son, and I kind of just spend a lot of time with her, and and growing up, that's kind of what we did. So it's not just that me and her hang out. If Sean was in town, we'd hang out with him, the three of us and stuff like that kind of thing. But yeah, we're just family kind of thing. So, and
so you're thinking about taking my mom to this horror movie?
Well, that, and we both kind of want to see Honey Boy.
Yes, I have a thing on that too, but continue.
Oh yes. So Honey Boy, if you don't know about it, it was written so during rehab. Well, I don't know if it was rehab or court appointed. Oh, it was court appointed therapy that Shia LaBeouf had to go to. after he got in trouble for hitting
DUI,
a
I think.
police officer.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, he attacked a police officer. I think because of a DUI, like the police officer was trying to give him a DUI or something. But
Uh-huh.
that's neither here nor there. During the time that he was in this court-ordered therapy, he started talking about his father, and being a child actor. And during that time, he started writing the screenplay for this movie. So in this movie, he plays his father, and his father is trying to help his son become an actor and become a success. Because deep down, his father never became a success. He was always just a clown,
A rodeo clown.
And it's from the trailers and from what I read, it's an amazing story. And when in the trailer, you would never know that it's based off of his life. But at one scene, the boy's wearing a Hawaiian shirt over his regular shirt. And I said, oh man, that's what Shia LaBeouf used to do on Even Stevens. So I'm like, I think this is probably based off his actual life. But they never said, oh, based on true events or anything like that. You know, the thing they usually do in movies.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm like, all right, maybe I'm wrong. But lo and behold, he did an interview on Ellen, and he admitted
Sorry.
you're fine. He admitted that that's what it was. That it was based off his life. So
yeah, and told, said that it was specifically about his time acting on Even Stevens.
yeah.
I think too. So I watched the trailer yesterday. I think in the trailer there's a scene where the character played by Lucas Hedges, who's playing, a 20 to 30-year-old Shia LaBeouf, gets arrested and gets his head slammed on the hood of the police car, and he starts yelling something along the lines of why are you arresting me, what's your cause, what's your cause, and like screaming and spitting. I think there's footage that's like verbatim what happened when Shia LaBeouf got arrested. There's like dash cam footage from the cop car when he got arrested in real life that he screamed, why am I being detained or whatever. So it's pretty factual. Like he's going off, things he actually said and things he's probably not too proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at reviews.
It came out yesterday, right?
Yeah.
November 8th.
It's 93% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, I don't know. And that must just be critic score because it's not playing anywhere I know. And it's not on Amazon, even though it's an Amazon picture.
Yeah, and that's my biggest issue is I was hoping that because I was an Amazon
it would just
Prime
drop.
member, I would be able to watch it because I was hoping to just sit there and watch it before this so we could talk about it a little bit.
I looked for it this morning.
But no, we went and saw Peanut Butter Falcon and saw this trailer, and I've been obsessed with it ever since.
Yeah, the trailer played before both movies I saw yesterday. So I think it'll come to the Mayan at some point, but I don't know when.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
My heat that I'm bringing, though, the thing that I texted you about and said, I got a hot take on Honey Boy, is we've been talking about this movie for 2 weeks or so. Like we brought it up, I believe, two episodes ago, and then again last episode.
Yeah.
Talked about Shia and this movie. I didn't know this movie existed. So if you go on Shia LaBeouf's Wikipedia page and look at his filmography, he made a movie in 2016 called American Honey, and I thought that's the movie we were talking about the whole time. And that's a totally different movie. It's a road drama, like a road trip movie about
those.
about like a kind of scummy group of kids selling magazines door to door.
Well, when I look it up, Honey Boy actually shows up before the Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, I see it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then look 2 years before that, and there's what I thought you were talking about, American
American Honey.
Honey. Hmm.
Oh, I remember the trailer for this one.
Yeah. So until yesterday, I thought you were really excited to see American Honey. And then you texted me, like something happened. We were texting about something or other, and I asked you if you had seen it, if you had seen Honey Boy. You said no, idiot, it's not out yet. And that's when I found out that I'm
We're
thinking of a
talking about
totally
two
different
different
movie.
movies.
Yep.
That will happen. I saw Terminator on
Dark
Tuesday.
Fate?
Dark Fate, yep. Which essentially was a reboot of, without giving away too much. So the whole Sarah Connor thing, in movies, Sarah Connor stops the apocalypse from happening, the Skynet from being activated. In the original trilogy, she stops it. Then they made Terminator Genesis, I think. No, Terminator Salvation first, which only takes place in the future, and
Is that the Christian Bale vehicle?
yes,
Yeah.
where they set up the movie for him meeting Kyle Reese, his father. By the way, the whole concept of the Terminator movies is really ridiculous, and I can't believe it was actually made. Because somebody had to pitch that movie as, oh, hey, this, freedom fighter sends this guy back in time to bang his mom. So that he can become a freedom fighter to stop these robots. Not to, stop Skynet. He sends them back just to protect his mom so they would fall in love.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about time travel and banging your mom that really
back in the day, yeah, because there
Back
was
to the Future.
Yep.
It's just a common trope, I guess. Sci-fi writers have a complex.
So Terminator Genesis takes place a couple years after there's an altercation in the timeline, so that when he goes back in time, when Kyle Reese goes back in time to meet Sarah Connor, he accidentally runs into her, but she's already briefed on the whole Terminator thing, the Skynet thing, and she's already working towards stopping Skynet. Which was a great film. I love Terminator Genesis. It was really well done. And then Terminator Dark Fate takes everything, all the recent films, and throws them away. Goes back to the original series, and essentially the timeline that they were following, where the Terminators were sent back by Skynet, was erased because Sarah Connor saved everybody. The issue is that a Terminator that was sent back before all of that happened completes the mission of killing John Connor. But the good news is there's no Skynet in the future. So once it completes its mission, it has no missions left and it leaves. Now, because humans are the way they are, instead of creating Skynet, they create something else, Legion. And Legion is the one that is like in charge of robots now. And it's killing people, and it's sending people back in time to stop the freedom fighter, the new freedom fighter. So, and just like before, there's a Terminator sent back. Not Terminator. a person sent back to protect a female, because the mission is to protect the child that she's going to be like give birth to, and blah blah blah. So this movie, if you're one of those people who like feels like masculinity is and what's it called, being questioned because of like those action movies, don't watch this movie then, because throughout the movie they talk crap as much as they can about how, oh, you're just like a vessel for the male that's going to save the world, and it's pretty much like that throughout the film.
Mm.
So if that's something you're not into, don't watch it. If you like the action scenes, definitely watch it. There's really good action scenes, and the storyline's actually not that bad.
Does Eddie Furlong show up in this picture?
Eddie Furlong?
The John Connor isn't. Yeah, so yeah, he's the main kid.
So I don't know how they did it because I don't remember this being in the original films, but he does show up. He's young, like the young version of himself.
So it's not current day
No,
John Connor. It's
I'm
like that actor. Edward Furlong is that guy's name.
so I think in the movies. So in T3, she dies. Sarah Connor dies. That's erased from the chronology or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this takes place right after T2. I'm assuming that somewhere in T2 she had a nightmare, and they filmed a scene of her and John at a bungalow, and then he gets killed by a Terminator, because that's the opening scene of the movie.
I'm just at the bottom of I've skimmed the cast list of Dark Fate. Edward Furlong is not in this picture, but at the very bottom there's a footnote that says Jude Colley served as a body double for young John Connor, while CGI was applied to recreate Edward Furlong's facial likeness from the 90s.
So yeah, so that's what must have been. That's it then. Yeah.
And that's because Edward Furlong is a meth head now. I don't know if you've seen him recently, but he's about, I don't know, a good 350, big guy. And he's got like
I see a picture of him right now.
He's got meth face. So he's just he's not in a good way.
I don't know which one's the more recent one though.
Yeah. That's him.
Uh
Ooh, yeah, maybe he lost it all.
So I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I like girl power, like those movies. I thought they all did a great job. My favorite character in the movie though was Gabriel. The actor's name is Gabriel Luna, and he's a Legion Terminator, which is completely different from the what's it called? Skynet Terminators. So the Skynet Terminators, the first two films had the Metal Man, who, what's his name, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and T3 had the Liquid Terminator. Oh, T2 had the
T2.
T2 had the Liquid Terminator. T3 also had a female Liquid Terminator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legion's Terminators are a combination of the two. They work separately, but they can work together as well. So the like the skeleton, the metal skeleton, walks around on its own and it's independent, but it has a hive mind with the liquid version of it, which can do whatever it wants as well. The guy who plays the Terminator, if you watch the TV show Shield, Agents of Shield. Yeah, he plays Ghost Rider, and he is an amazing Ghost Rider.
Better than Nick Cage?
Yes, definitely. He plays a more.
Oh my God, my face is on fire.
He plays a more what's it called? More recent version of the Ghost Rider. Eddie Reyes, I think his name is. I can't remember for sure. But his acting is really well done, and it's just It's a really good. He did a really
Portrayal.
great job with that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna see that one. This new Terminator. Maybe if it comes streaming, I might check it out.
It's one, and that's what I'm saying is if it's on Netflix, you should definitely check it out. Though I would definitely not go pay to see it, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Robbie Reyes. Robbie Reyes.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah. The female, like the female, like that gets sent back instead of Also, sorry to go back to this, but in I Am Wrath, at any point did you think that the buddy was going to be the bad guy?
Dennis?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I kept thinking that there were scenes that were coming up over and over again where he kind of looked like he kind of like wasn't really trying to help, and I felt like there was a scrapped piece of the script where it was going to be revealed that he was working with the senator and that he wanted the whole setup was going to be that Dennis was going to set it up so that those guys would kill the wife so that his name is Stanley Hill.
Stanley something. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
So Stanley,
Stanley Hill.
It was going to be Dennis's plan to get Stanley to get back in the business, kill all the gangsters, so that the senator could clean up, get rid of the wife, and get rid of the gangster who has blackmail against him. And it would be Dennis just sitting there, like, happy because he got his old partner back.
Yeah. Yeah, there was. I guess he did kind of have a grudge against Travolta when he was first introduced. There was like a quote unquote tense. It was supposed to be tense. It was just silly scene where that was another hair thing. When John goes and sees his old buddy from the CIA, his old friend is now a barber, has his own barber shop. John Travolta walks in, gets in the barber's chair, and gets a wig cut. Like, I thought he was gonna get his hair cut. He ends up shaving him like with a razor, like a straight razor. But it was implied that Dennis might slit his throat just then.
Yeah, and the next scene after that
Was
no, 2 scenes later, I think. So the next scene is him confronting one of the guys, but the scene after that is him having breakfast with his daughter, and his hair's grown back in that time.
Is that the scene where he's at the diner at the bar?
Yep.
He doesn't have breakfast with anyone. She shows up, and he gets the check and leaves. That was a weird scene too.
Yeah.
She like walks in the diner. It's like, "Hi, Dad. How's it going? What's going on?" And he gets the check, and he's like, "I just want to be alone," and like walks out. She probably drove 30 minutes in downtown Columbus traffic to come see him at his favorite diner, and he just bails on her like a dick.
And that's the whole movie, is him not wanting to spend time with her, and like we go to the funeral. Oh yeah, I just want to be alone. I'm out. I just wanted to say goodbye to your mom.
Yeah, that looked real
maybe
suspicious.
Your daughter wants to, have somebody there for her. And then the next scene, and it's just throughout the whole movie. Oh yeah, I don't have time for you, so I'm gonna peace out. I don't know. It was just really weird, like, interaction between the father and daughter.
Yeah, she's probably just fed up hanging out with her goober husband. Remember that actor? The guy that gets shot?
Because he made no, there was no, like,
no impression.
Yeah.
He was just a dingus. I think he might have been like a stunt guy that stepped in for that one scene. Because he had, zero reason to be on screen. I can't believe they gave him any lines. He, stumbled through every single one of them.
And the girl who's always at the house, I didn't know who she was. Like, the kid calls her Auntie, so I don't know if it's just because she's there so often,
Mm-hmm.
or it's because it's the dad's sister or something. I don't know. The daughter was hot though. I don't know who she is, but I'm like, oh,
Let's see. Amanda Schull, known for her lead role in the 2000 film Center Stage. Huh.
never heard of it.
It's a movie about ballet.
That's probably why.
I had to watch it about 1,000 times because my two cousins would make me watch that.
Oh, she's in the TV show 12 Monkeys. That's where I knew her
Mm.
from.
All right. Well, anything upcoming that we're other than Honey Boy? I'm looking forward to The Irishman.
So tomorrow night, I'm gonna go see Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
Stephen King book. I read the book. The book was okay. It's better than his what is the book I'm reading right now by him? Right now I'm reading The Outsider.
Okay.
Doctor Sleep takes place like 30 years later from the movie The Shining. And I'm excited because Ewan McGregor is in it.
Yeah.
And I like him. I don't think you like him, right?
Yeah, we talked about it. I'm not a huge fan, but The Shining is in my top 20 favorite movies, so I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
I just have to decide if I'm gonna pay to see it at this point.
I'll
probably let it get a little juice, see what people are saying about it, and then I'll decide.
I'm sure I'll bring it up on our next when we record next time if you haven't seen it already.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Do you have any interest in The Irishman or know what it is?
The Irishman is Robert De Niro movie, correct?
You really want to call him Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know why.
You've done it.
Robert Downey Jr. hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, Albert Pacino.
Oh, they're back together again.
Joseph Pesci.
Oh.
Albert Pacino.
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro together again in a film. I'm definitely watching it.
Oh my god. Oh.
I
don't even know if his real name's Albert. I gotta look it up. Al Pacino.
What was that movie called? I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to figure out what the movie's called.
Alfredo. His name is Alfredo Pacino.
What are you talking about?
Al Pacino.
Oh, so Righteous Kill. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Top 10 movies of all time. Righteous Kill. It's my favorite kind of narrating story where you can't trust the narrator. I love movies like that, like what's it called? The Machinist, and have you seen the Fractured movie yet?
No, but I know what you're talking about. The unreliable narrator.
Yes,
like Machinist had it. Classic example would be Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah.
But that's Righteous Kill is actually their second movie together. The first being Heat.
Yep. Heat was also a good movie, but I don't know. It didn't stick with me as much as Righteous Kill did.
Okay.
Al Pacino's a great actor in his own.
Alfredo
Pacino. Robert De Niro, great actor as well. They both made really crazy comedy movies. Did you remember Jack and Jill?
I don't remember it. I know of it only because of how insane it was. I've seen clips of. Wasn't like half the movie a Dunkin' Donuts ad? There's Al Pacino rapping about Dunkin' Donuts in it. Am I wrong? I feel like I've seen that.
Now I gotta look that up because I think I saw maybe 10 minutes of the movie before I gave up on it, and then I just read about it. So,
Al Pacino raps Dunkin'. Let's see if I'm just insane. We're gonna see what this video is. Hold on.
Yeah, play it, man.
Yep. Albert Pacino. Okay, I don't need to watch this. What is this?
Hey, Dunkachino!
Oh, right.
Hold on. Sorry.
Wow! Al Pacino! It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do. What's my name? Dunkachino. It's a whole new game. Dunkachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, Pua, Lucky Light. This whole trial is out of sight. They put me back in with hazelnut too. Caramel swirl. I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino.
This is
Kids
real.
From 7 to 17, lining up for my Dunkachino. What's my name? Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
All right. Well,
Oh, now I know what my
just know
ringtone is.
you did that to us. Podcast listeners, blame Luis for that, because I can't not see that anymore. I'm gonna see him Dunkachino rapping in every movie ever now.
Well, at least he'll be doing it in The Irishman.
Albert Pacino. All right, what are our options for next week?
All right, so I was looking at a couple movies, and then I found one that I haven't seen. I was like, oh, I'm surprised I haven't seen that because Ryan Reynolds is in it. But I have 3 options for this upcoming recording.
Hit me.
We got In the Shadow of the Moon. Do you want to hear the description?
Please.
A Philadelphia detective slowly unravels as he nurses a lifelong obsession with an enigmatic female serial killer whose crimes defy explanation, with Boyd Holbrook, Michael C. Hall, and Cleopatra Coleman.
Okay.
The next film on our queue is When His Girlfriend Vanishes, a mute man ventures into a near-future Berlin seamy underworld where his actions speak louder than words. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, Paul Rudd, nice, and Justin Theroux. And the movie's called Mute.
Oh, yes. I have seen the poster for that one. Okay. 3.
And the third one is Selfless. A dying tycoon has his conscience transplanted into the body of a healthy young man, only to make a troubling discovery about the body's origin. Cast is Ryan Reynolds, Natalie Martinez, Matthew Good, and then I cannot remember his name, but they don't mention it. But there's one other guy who's a really good actor, and I can't. Ben Kingsley. I didn't even have to look it up. I remembered. So those are the 3. I'm leaning towards Mute, to be honest.
It's the only one I've heard of.
The Selfless looks interesting because it has Ryan Reynolds and Ben Kingsley in it. In the Shadow of the Moon caught my attention because I was looking at Michael C. Hall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Michael C. Hall. Dexter.
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking Michael Cera. That's a different Mike altogether.
But as soon as I saw Paul Rudd was in Mute, I was like, oh, I kind of want to see that one now, though.
I think it looks trippy, too. Let's go with that one, I guess.
Mute? All right.
All
All
right.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our film for the next recording. So hopefully you either watch it or whatever.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
We got some music for them. You know all I'm going to be doing for the next week is listening
exactly.
to My Chemical Romance.
So number 2, Caramel Swirl. I know it was you. Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino.
Albert.